Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you a flip through of my 2025 planner, which I have already archived, hence the reason why it's in this planner cover. Previously I had the main planner in here, but what I did was I have set it in this disc bound, and I have arranged all my inserts in here, and then I just slot it into this planner cover. So it's pretty easy for me to just move from one planner cover to another. So once I have done that, this one I just take it out and then I add the hard cover, and voila, it's already archived. So just in case you're wondering what I'm going to do with this, I will keep this for about a year or two, and then maybe I will discard it or keep it for reference in future. To be honest, I don't refer to them very frequently, but I have opened up my previous planners just to see when a certain maintenance was done and to clarify some things. So anyway, let's move on to take a look at the 2025 planner. So this is the front page, and this 2025 sticker was provided by the Stickerific when I bought some of their stuff. So they gave this as a gift. This is my annual calendar where I jot down all the school holidays, public holidays. And back when I was working, I also mark my salary day. So I like this because at one go, I can just see all the holidays and relevant events or activities that is happening in our life. So this is also an annual calendar, but this is a vertical annual calendar. So in here, I jot down all the important events. For example, for house maintenance, stuff like pest control, the filter maintenance, my car repair or service, anything related to my daughter, like events that she participated in. So all those goes in here. The reason why I have this section is also because in the month page, if you take a look, it's kind of really cramped up with a lot of information because this is a catch-all calendar. So because it looks so messy, I prefer to have this section, which is much cleaner and easier for me to find the things that I'm looking for. So this is my Conquer New Year 2025 worksheet. So what I did in here was I was reflecting my past year and then figured out what was my biggest achievement and my challenges that I faced and areas that I need to improve. And based on the reflection that I did in here, I figured out what kind of personal growth that I have in terms of career, health and wellness, relationship, and finance. So after reflecting all this, I figured out what I want to continue doing and what I want to stop and what I want to improve on. So based on that, I figured out my core values, and then I figured out the SMART goal that I wanted to do for 2025. So while I was doing the SMART goals in 2025, I realized that SMART goals kind of restrictive. So I did move on to the flow goals, but for 2026, I still haven't done my goals yet because I don't like to do it in a hurry. I prefer to do this reflection, and based on the findings, I will be figuring out what my SMART goal is. But once I figured out the SMART goals, I am going to move it into my flow goal system so that I don't find it too restrictive. This is where my personal vision and goals are. So this is a general information of what my vision and what my goals are according to role as a content creator, business owner, mother, and etc. So I like to read this from time to time because I just wanted to remind myself, why am I doing this? So basically, this is to figure out my why, my expectation, and what is the end result that I want to achieve so that I know that my goals are not deviated from the actual vision that I have of myself. So this is something that I will be using for this year as well. Maybe I will be adjusting this because, sometimes life change and your expectation change. So my vision and goals will be changing as well. So this is the 2023 goals that I had in here, and I would like to remain it in here so that when I'm flipping through, and let's say I'm in the year 2027 and I would like to take a look back of what sort of goals that I have set to myself and whether I have achieved it or not. So having it in here just to reflect is a great reminder to see how much far you have traveled in your journey. So this is my goals insert. So when I'm doing my goals for this year, I will be looking at this and then be completing all this empty space. Just so you know, I did not receive like 100% mark for all these goals. I have achieved about 80% of these goals here. And let me tell you, when you set your goals, it is not necessarily that you have to achieve it 100%. Having achieved at least 80% of your goals that you have set earlier is more important than feeling like a failure just because you did not achieve 100%. So all of this, I know that I have gotten some kind of achievement for the goals that I've set last year. And I know this is based on these goal map that I have set. So as you can see here, this is the bar that I have. I like this thing so much is because I have set certain milestones for me to achieve for each of these goals. So as I mark off these bars, I realize, you know what, I have achieved something. So to see this, it just gives you more enthusiasm and motivation for you to keep on going. And although I did not complete most of this, but taking a look at this, I know that, you know what, I am doing something about my goals and I have achieved it. I'm really sorry. I'm not feeling well, so it's very difficult for me to talk actually. But I wanted to let this video be published this week, so I'm enduring the sore throat for now. So this is my project list. So I have projects and big tasks in here. The difference between project and task is project is a lot of tasks that needs planning in the long term, whereas the task here are a task that requires multi-step to be completed, but needs to be done in a short term. I just like to have this project list in here so that I know which of these project lists are still active. And when I'm planning my monthly or when I'm working on certain project, when I have this in here, so I know that these projects are still active. So this is for my project one. So my project are planned in 12 weeks, or it can also be used as 12 months. So I will just put a title in here and I put the dates of that particular week, and then I'll start work on them on that week for that month. So this is easier for me to plan out and see progress in the projects that I do. So this is an example of my completed project. So I have 2 pages of this, and this is for my ebook that I did. So as I complete each of these steps, I mark them off and then I move on to the next step. So here you can see that I have a title for each section. Before I write down these project steps, I will figure out what are the things that I need to do in a separate sheet of paper, and then I will rearrange them according to its title, and then I will list them down the specific task that needs to be done for that major section. For example, this is a content review that I have to do of the ebook that I was writing. So I need to check the flow and relatability, then review intro chapter, and so on. And at the back here, I have to prepare the launch preparation. So this is a continuation of this project 3. So I can just keep on adding the pages if I want to, based on what are the steps that you need for the project. So this is the task map. This is my ideal weekly section. I just have it here because sometimes I forget what I need to do for that particular day. So I will just use this as a guidance when I'm doing it in a hurry. So this is my monthly overview page where I have 3 goals and I have my task divided into 4 weeks. So I like this section because I know what I'm supposed to do for that month. And when I have already segregated them in each week, so when the week comes, all I need to do is just write down the task in its action box. So for me, I have done the hard part of thinking when goes where. So it's easier for me to plan within like 20 minutes when I do the pre-week planning. So in this page, I have provided 8 boxes, but I don't have 8 goals. So what I did was I just put in these stickers for my 3 goals that I need to focus on particular month. So this is my catch-all calendar where I pretty much refer to everything, no matter whether it's regarding my work, my personal, my family, or anything, everything goes in here. And some of the things, if it's cancelled, I will just mark off the cancel either with the red pen or I just use a sticker on top of the event that was cancelled. I have color code for the events to identify which one is for my daughter's school, for personal event, house maintenance, and all the other stuff. So this is my weekly planner. As I mentioned, I use this to pre-plan my week. So every beginning of the week, I will use the monthly overview and check the catch-all calendar to figure out what appointment and events that I'm having. And then I will plan my week on Sunday or Monday. So when I do the pre-week planning, I can actually see whether the week is going to be busy or it's going to be a laid back kind of event where I can focus more on other stuff or more on my business and so on. This weekly page is not dated, so I just have to add on the dates myself. Up here is my action task. These are the tasks that I have obtained from my monthly overview section in the front. And since this is already divided into weekly, now when I go to the weekly section, I will just divide that week task to that particular week. So when I want to do my daily planning, all I need to do is just take out my daily planner and then I refer the task that I need to complete for that particular day. And I will just start planning on my daily planner. So in here, these boxes are for time blocking. So I time block based on the role that I do for that particular time. So in the morning, I will just focus on my work. But this week is where I was not able to do work much because my father passed away in December 2024. So there were a lot of prayers and some of the things that I need to do. So I have to complete those rituals on some of the days. So this is a clearer picture of how I actually do my weekly planning. I color code them. So yellow is health, purple is for my daughter, and green is my work stuff. So this color coding is easier for me to just figure out what role am I playing on those particular times. And then in January itself, I stopped planning again because my sister's husband passed away. So I couldn't plan the rest of the week because I was busy. And then February is the month that I went to Japan. So I didn't plan as much. And then when I came back, I started planning my week. And this is for March. You can actually see that when I have colorful weekly, you know that I really sat down and properly planned. But if I don't have colorful weeklies like this one, you know that I didn't have enough time. Hence, I did this without any sort of decoration and I just focused on the things that I need to do for that week. So this is my weekly review and monthly reflection. This is April, May. In previous calendars, you would have seen that I have some red marks. So these red marks are to actually indicate what happened that week. For example, I've planned all this, but I did not do any of them because I was really sick. So I just marked them off that I was sick and then I rested. I need to do this because when I do my weekly review or monthly reflection, I will realize that I did not do what I'm supposed to do. So when I take a look back, I will know that, oh, you know what, because I was sick, that's why I couldn't do it at all. And also, I would be able to see how frequent I was getting sick just to know whether I'm okay or I need to take some sort of medication or something just to strengthen my immune system. This is June. So May and June, I was like really tired and I could not do much of work because I was so sickly because my daughter was sick and I was sick. So when I'm sick, I always get like really, really bad sick that I have to be bedridden. So I won't really have mood to do anything. These are empty. And then this is for July. There are weeks that I do miss doing the weekly and monthly reflection because weekends I'm usually busy with sending my daughter to school for her extra classes and I really don't have time to sit and do. And for October, I think this is the busiest month ever because my father-in-law was in the hospital, so I was doing a lot of things and I was also about to release my ebook. So I was really busy during this week. I couldn't even do weekly review again and I just did the monthly reflection. I guess I was interrupted when I was doing this, but I continue with November. Towards the last end quarter, I was quite busy. That's why it's very, very colorful with a lot of activities. And then my monthly reflection and on December. So towards the end December, I did not do much planning because we went for a vacation and I did not do any weekly reviews or monthly reflection as well. At the end, I have my notes and also some of the inserts that I was just trying out. Yeah, that's it. So I hope that you have enjoyed this flip through. I think this is the first time I've actually finished an entire Franken planner. Before this, I will keep on moving to other planners. But this year, I started in this planner and I ended in this planner. And I like the fact that because it's a Franken planner, I can just add in any type of format of insert and then figure that out. And then if I don't like them, I will just remove it or put it at the back. So once I figure out the system that I like for my planner, I'm pretty much sticking to it. And right now I have like a whole 3 planner system that I am consistently following it. And I'm happy to report that this is the planner system that I'm going to maintain for the rest of the year. And so if you have any question, do post at the comment box below. And if you like what you see and you're interested to know about my planning system, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell for all my upcoming videos. And that's it for now, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.